Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Excited to be here with you guys today. We are going to be talking about dreamy clients today. And as you're coming in, just give me a shout out. Where in the world are you? Going back to the dreamy clients for just a second, I would love to know who in the audience or who's listening um, has a business model that has clients. We're always looking at it through the lens of you know sales, but this is going to refine that just a little bit. Like, who has clients? If you're a consultant, you're a coach, you're a service provider, like, you rely on the next client, or a series of clients. So I'm just curious, who has clients as a part of their business model? Let me know. Feel free to share your business model. Like, if you're a business coach, or if you are a Facebook ad strategist, or a social media manager, or whatever it is, a freelancer, whatever you self-identify as. I'm just curious, because I kind of like to get a feel for who is listening or is in the audience, so that I can give direct feedback for your situation. So yeah, just let me know, because like I say, we're going to be talking about how to get dreamy clients. And basically what I'm sharing with you today has been my best advice, if you will, through my own trial and error. What has worked for me. Valerie is saying, I have clients as part of my business model. My business model includes an online community, coaching and consulting for nonprofit leaders. Okay, excellent. That's great. I love hearing about other people's businesses and what they have or what they do. So clients are, for a lot of business owners, are the lifeblood of that's how you make money, right? You have no clients, you have no money. If you have too many clients, it's, you hate to say it's a burden, but it can be, because you end up not being able to serve them as well, or depending on your business model. Or what I find most frequently happens for so many businesses is you take any old client just because you need the client. So instead of that dynamic, I would like to approach that slightly differently. Wouldn't it be nice to work with the people you want to work with? Like, what would that look like? And what is the ideal, or maybe the definition of that dreamy client? I think that's a subjective thing, because I think it's very different for everyone. Some people are like, I just want clients that, pay. Okay, well, that's okay. But what I have found in the client space, having owned several agencies over the years, is not all clients that pay are created equal, y'all. Seriously. A lot of times you get clients that are difficult. They don't have a knowledge base to understand what's happening in some cases, or yet, and that's okay. I'm okay with that kind of client, because I can educate that kind of client. But some clients are just, tough. They're hard to work with. And, I hate to say nasty, but sometimes nasty, their constitution is not necessarily the same as yours, and they can be very difficult to work with. So I think you need to define for you, what is that person outside of the fact that they got a wallet or a checkbook or a credit card, okay, who still pays with checks. Some people. But the point is that I don't think that should be your first qualification. I think you really should look at it through the lens of, who do I want to work with? I find that I attract a lot of people that have similar value systems to me. Well, okay, if that's great, because then you have some commonality. So again, think about it. Like, what does your perfect person look like for you? And I think you should have some frame of reference for that, instead of like, okay, if they can pay me, I'm good. All right. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, is figuring out, I'm going to leave that up to you, because like I said, finding or determining what your dreamy client is, or the definition of your dreamy client, is going to be different for everyone. But I'm just saying, don't make it the fact that they can pay you the only criteria. Okay. It come up with some other criteria, but really we're going to focus in on the strategy component of this. And again, through the lens of what has worked best for me, because I like passing on the things that I've learned, so that you can, of course, get value from them and don't have to go through the learning curve and or make the same mistakes that I have. So, couple of quick things before we jump into the content. Like I said, as you guys are coming in, just love to know, where in the world are you? I see Paul is here. Paul, you are amazing, my friend. So glad to see you. It's always lovely to see you. Valerie is here. Valerie, so glad you're here. We do give one quick thing. If you are new on my show, never been on one of my shows before, please introduce yourself. Just drop in your name, who you are, anything you want to share. Love to say hey. And let me introduce myself. My name is Kim Garst. I am an authority creator consultant, basically just taking all of my 30 years of experience and helping other people leverage the power of their authority in the right order, so that they can get results out the gate instead of trying to circle back, and which has been my journey, always circling back. But if you know what I know, then out the gate, then you don't have to struggle so hard. So point is that I am super excited that you're here. One, like I say, if you're new, please drop in. You're new, hashtag new. I'd love to say hey. And for all of those that are here, Allison, lovely to see you. Central Oregon in the house. We got Donna here from North Carolina. Excited for you guys to be here. Now, if you know someone that will get value from this, please feel free to share this. You can sprinkle it out into the world. You can tag someone, whatever makes sense to you, for you, easiest, whatever, however you want to do it, I guess. We do giveaways on every show. Today's no different. Our giveaway today is going to be how to confidently charge for your services. It is a mini course. I see a lot of people struggling with this, like what to price things at, and how to really step into their pricing and be confident in their pricing. So we're going to be giving away 2 of those over at the end of today's show. And how do you win? This is a critical component. We want to enter you into the Wheel of Wow. So share your aha moments is one way. An aha moment is, oh my gosh, I didn't know that, or I knew it, but I needed to hear it again, because sometimes that happens to us, right? Tag someone, or like I said, sprinkle it out. We'll add you to the Wheel of Wow. And also ask questions. We love the questions. We will try to answer them either as we go, or certainly at the end of today's show. Also, so that you don't have to stress over taking notes, all you have to do is drop in notes if you're on Facebook. Let me clarify. If you're on Facebook, just drop in notes, and that's an automatic thing. You'll get our notes. If you're on LinkedIn or YouTube or Twitter or any of the other socials, we'll drop in the link, meaning you have to come back over to Facebook. Sorry. That's the only way we can deliver the notes. Facebook's the only one that's got that messenger component where we can, get the notes out to you. So that's that. And let me just see. All right. Yeah. Making sure. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here, Caleb. Okay. Making sure I saw everybody that had dropped in where they are, or brand new to the Kim Garst Marketing that Grows Your Business show. Okay. So again, I want to get right down to it, you guys. We're going to be talking about how to acquire Dreamy clients without ad spend. And let me make sure I've got all my ducks in a row here. And there we go. Okay, I'm ready. Are y'all ready? All right. So who doesn't want dreamy clients? I mean, seriously. And again, depending on what your definition of a dreamy client is, everybody, I think, needs to think about that. What is that? What does that look like for you? the first thing that I wanted to bring into the equation that has worked best for me, and I'm going to tell you why this is important in just a minute, is what I call an authority page. And a lot of times, and I'm going to explain what an authority page is in a moment, but I wanted to talk about it through the lens of what it's not, maybe before what it is. Okay. So what it is not is, it is not a website that is just checking the box. You know, I've got a website. Yay. I am in business. It is not a placeholder, and it is not a website that is about you. So if any of those things resemble what your website looks like, then lean in, because I think understanding what an authority page is going to be powerful for you. It has nothing to do with page rank, so it's not like, an SEO thing. It is purely about the planning process and using the right framework on your website. So let's talk about what that looks like real quick. Essentially, an authority page is a website that's designed to convert. And, I think this does take a little bit of planning. So I'm just curious, because I want your opinion on this. Do you think a website is worthless if it doesn't convert leads and sales? I'm going to leave that there for just a second and let you guys tell me what you think. Is a website worthless if it doesn't convert leads and sales? Yeah, people don't opt into something, or, they don't sign up for something, or, and I want you to look at this through the lens of your business, not necessarily through like an information website, because there is instances. So I want to be very clear. There are instances where information sites are great. Absolutely. I'm saying from a business perspective, is a website worthless if it doesn't convert? Now, a website, I'm going to say this from the front side of it, meaning the very first impression that your website has. It doesn't mean you can't have your portfolio on there or some of the other things that you have, obviously. I'm saying from the time that people arrive on your website to moving forward. So if your website does, and I'm curious too, does your website convert leads and sales? And again, these are not technically hard and fast rules, because there are exceptions to this, meaning, like I say, there are information websites that are great. But if your website isn't converting leads and sales, do you need to revisit it? That's all. That's really my point. And what is an authority page? I'm going to go back to that question, because I feel like I've kind of gotten off on a tangent and maybe set the wrong impression, because I definitely don't want you to think that, there aren't exceptions to this. But an authority page is really a website with a clear transformational message that tells your person exactly why you should matter to them. And also gives them a simple step-by-step path to working with you. So it's a clear transformation with a clear customer journey path. And that's what I mean. And lots of websites don't have this. So why is this important? And this is the key. I really want to key in on this. Like I said, I don't want there to be any confusion on me slamming websites right now. That's not my intent. A lot of times when we are, showing up in the world, especially on social media, I think we focus a lot of our time and attention on social media, and we go through that process of building the know, like, and trust factor. We have all this content out there, we're trying to attract our person to us, and we sometimes omit the importance of our website. And the reason that this is so important is people are looking for the solution that you offer every day on the Google machine. Every day there are people looking for you. And this is the important part. And this is why I think the authority page is so powerful and why it's so important. If they are looking for you, they do not have to, you don't have to warm them up so much. They're already predisposed to finding the solution that you offer, which means that they don't have to watch 10 videos on social media in order to say, oh, wow, this person has the solution that I'm looking for. as long as your website does a good job of telling them very succinctly that you have the solution they're looking for. So if they're looking for a business coach, for example, and they go to your website, does your website clearly say that why do they want a business coach, right? They could want a business coach because they don't have consistent leads or sales. It could be any number of things, but you have to lead with why they want that thing is my point in saying this. Because if you can't clearly articulate your transformation, meaning you're confused on what you do, or you can't clearly articulate what you do, then trust me, your prospects will be confused as well, and they'll move on to your competition. You really have about a 3 to 5 second window of attention before your person decides if you are or aren't for them. So thinking about it through that lens, going back to the authority page, when somebody lands on your home page, this is what we're talking about, your home page. We're not looking at it through the lens of all the other components that you need on your page. It's just that 3 to 5 seconds that you have in that window of time, essentially, where someone is looking at your transformational statement. Does it tell them in that window of time that you can help them in some capacity? Do they say, wow, this person has the solution I'm looking for? If it doesn't, then you're going to struggle to find those dreamy clients, is my point. So let me give you a couple of examples of this. And remember, you've got 3 to 5 seconds here. Here's Judy. She is a financial partner. Can you tell why she matters to you in 3 to 5 seconds? Okay. Now look at this as a variation of her page. And engaging wealth practice for women. Okay, if I'm a woman and I am looking for a financial services company, I am in, right? I'm going to read on. If I, see this, probably not. What's the tree? That's my first thought. I'm like, I get it's a financial tree. Don't get me wrong. But my point is that doesn't tell me anything about how she can help me versus, yeah, okay, still financial partners and engaging wealth practice for women. In 3 to 5 seconds, I know that I can read on, right? This is an authority page. So got this one 3 to 5 seconds. I've used this quite frequently because I can't tell in 3 to 5 seconds how this person helps me versus get the job you really want. Schedule a free consultation. So that's what people really want. They can't see that in 3 to 5 seconds here, but they can here. Here's another one. And I think this really is the key to good authority pages, is to really key in on the why someone wants what you have. Give your child a smile they'll love. This is a chiropractor. So give not a chiropractor, goodness, an orthodontist, sorry. Give your child a smile they'll love. Wow, right? That like tugs at your heartstring a little bit. But let me talk to you a little bit about how and why I'm sharing this with you. This was a lesson I learned the hard way. I have had a personal brand for years. And I went my separate ways with my business partner about 4 years ago. And it was all good. No acrimony. He wanted to do something different than what I was doing. And it was good. We're still friends to this day. But when that happened, I was like, well, maybe I need to rebrand. I need to show up differently. And I hired a branding company. The bill for that was $60,000. So it was a high tier branding company. I was very excited about it, even though it was $60,000. That's a lot of money in anybody's book, for sure. And when I got my first wireframe back, actually it was a series of wireframes. It was 3 wireframes. And it was so I can't even tell. I can't even say how many so's it was. So bad. They didn't get me at all. The components of the website was way off. The messaging was stinky. All of it was literally just a mess. And because of that, I, chalk that up to, lesson learned, but also the best $60,000 that I ever lost. And I've lost some money. I bet some of you have done the same. You hire service providers or whatever for different things, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But this was really the best $60,000 mistake, even though it was a $60,000 mistake in the end, because it forced us to do it in-house. Because we looked at all this stuff and we're like, we can't do any worse. Like, right? We can't do any worse. We can do this. So we dug in. We read all the clear messaging books. We tuned into Donald Miller's Story Brand, like all the things. And we basically, through that journey, came up with our own framework, which we call the Clear Messaging Blueprint. And everybody has their own structure, branding structure, different things, but we felt like there was some components that were out of that weren't in alignment in some people's models. And long story short, we came up with our own framework. And we started implementing it first on our sales pages and our landing pages before we did my authority page. And this is the powerful thing that I really want you guys to understand, that once you have an authority page or a framework for your pages, you can apply it to all of them. You can apply it to your sales pages. You can apply it to your landing pages, AKA lead gen pages. You can apply it to your email marketing, anything, because it's really about the messaging. And that it can be carried into all of your marketing is the point. So we started putting this on our sales pages. Like I said, it's a framework. And if you go check out some of our sales pages, you'll see that it's a lot of, they look similar because it is a framework. It is a plug and play kind of model. Our sales page conversions went from like 3 to 5%, which is above industry standard. Industry standard is usually 1 to 2%. We went from 3 to 5, which we thought was pretty good, to 30 to 50%. Now, who doesn't want a sales page that converts at a higher conversion rate? Like, right? Wouldn't that be amazing if you had a framework for that? Yeah, right? Our lead gen went up tremendously. We actually have a lead gen right now that's converting at about 69% to cold traffic, meaning we're sending Facebook ads, spending money on Facebook or paid ads across the board, and running it to cold audiences, people that don't know who I am, and it's converting again at a 69% conversion rate, compared to our old framework, which was way less than that. So the point is that having an authority page framework, or what we call our clear messaging blueprint, is something that we've been able to put on our webpage to create that authority page. We have been able to carry it into our lead gen pages as well as our sales pages. And it makes a huge difference. So why does this matter? And I think this is the key, is because people take action and or buy based on what they can understand the quickest. Now, this is something we learned from going through Donald Miller's Story Brand stuff. It is absolutely true. And and if you think about it, it makes sense, because when you land on a website, we're scanners today, right? We just want the highlights. We want to be able to like quickly see the thing. Because so many things are competing for our attention today. So we have to show up in our marketing in such a way that we articulate our transformation or the thing that we're selling very quickly and make it very easy for our person to understand it. So if you're uber clear on your solution or the thing that you are selling, your person is going to self-select in. That's really what I want you to hear. And if you're messaging on your authority page or your website, because technically an authority page is a website, then you're going to convert at a higher you're going to convert your person and ultimately have that dreamy client, because you're not having to convince them. They're like, okay, yeah, you've got the solution that I'm looking for. Let me dig a little bit deeper. So just by simply having a core component in your business in place and optimized for you, you're going to attract better, higher quality clients to your business. The second component that I wanted to share with you that I think is a critical path to Dreamy clients is content. Now, everybody talks about content is king, right? Engagement is queen. Content is, I think, one of these things that a lot of us feel like, and I'd love to hear your take on this. It's a content, I call it a hamster wheel. It's like we need it, we know we need it. But we're constantly feeling like we can't get enough of it. Can I get an amen on that? Like, right? It's like, phew, you're like running every day. You're like, what can I create? What can I create? I know I got to create more content today, whether it's for social media, your blog, um, for video content, whatever it is a pain point for most of us. It is very difficult, I think, as business owners or content creators to know how to feed this engine or this beast that we feel like we have to put out into the world in order to sustain or ultimately attract people to us. So it's a problem. It is a huge problem. And so my question to you is, because I think a lot of people are creating content for content's sake. So my question is, do you know what your audience really wants to know about? And that's not a fluff question. It's a serious question, because I feel like that, like I say, we wake up some days, and I'll speak for myself, and I'm like, okay, yep, I know what my audience needs, and I'm going to go after it today. I'm going to shoot a video. I'm going to do the thing. And we get sidelined by thinking we know the things when we really haven't done the work to understand what our audience really does want. And this is a bigger question. Do you know what they need to believe in order to buy from you? Wow, right? So we teach what we call a content flywheel. I got a few character returns going on here. But we teach in the Authority Creator, we teach a content flywheel strategy, but it's a very different content flywheel strategy than I would think that a lot of people teach. It's basically going back to those two questions that I just asked you, finding out what your audience really wants to know. And more importantly, what they need to believe in order to buy from you. And then you pre-purpose your content. Everybody talks about repurposing your content, but if you're intentional with your content on the front side, then you can repurpose it. I think a lot of repurposed content doesn't work because it doesn't stay true to the integrity of the individual social platforms. So it's like, if I, right now I'm live over on YouTube, but technically this isn't YouTube-y content. So it doesn't necessarily resonate with a YouTube audience. And again, how could I make this content resonate more with YouTube? It would be by basically splitting up the content and being intentional with how I message that content. But anyway, pre-purposed content is really the focus of our content flywheel. You create the right kinds of content, and then you get people to engage with it, ultimately creating customers and, more importantly, ambassadors. Because one of the best ways to get Dreamy clients, y'all, is not just being clients attracted to your content based on you really understanding your person and providing the content that they're looking for, and solving the belief system that they need to have in order for them to purchase from you. So stop creating all the content. Just create 10 pieces of amazing content that's pre-purposed so that you can slice and dice that effectively for the socials. But I think a lot of people are wasting their time with content. But going back to one, attracting your ideal buyer to you, your ideal Dreamy client to you using the right content. And then this is kind of a byproduct of this strategy is that the dreamy clients will tell other people about you because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I had the best experience with this, coach or this service provider or, whatever your business model is. So, giving them great content, getting them to engage with it, getting them ultimately to pay money for your services or your products, and then they're going to tell other people about it. That's the life cycle of a content wheel and the purpose of a content wheel. So think about it. Are you educating your clients, and are you doing so in such a way that they believe that, or that you are solving the belief systems that they have to believe, use believe in that sentence a lot, so that they feel like comfortable purchasing from you? Is it providing context to your authority? In other words, are you actually presenting your content in such a way that you're the solution to their problem? Is it truly solving a problem? Do you share some sort of a path, an execution plan with them? Is it relevant to your client's pain point? This is what I see most frequently is a lot of times people that are creating content for content's sake don't really get their person's problems enough to really step into and make that person believe that they're there for them. And a lot of times there's no call to action. Huge mistake that I see happening very frequently for a lot of people. So again, thinking about it, stop doing all the things, start doing this, your content creation with a lot more intention, pre-purposing it so that you do attract the dreamy clients to you. Because value-based content is what turns random strangers and followers into long-term relationships and ultimately into buyers. More specifically, dreamy clients, okay? So the third thing that I think is powerful, and if you'll notice, I haven't said social media one time really in the context of that's the best way to get dreamy clients, okay? It's not that I'm discounting social media, but these are foundational things that they're important, and they probably have the most, in my opinion, certainly in my experience, have had the most value for getting the right clients in the door for me, which is why I'm sharing this with you. So lead gen, let's talk about why is lead gen important in the construct of being able to attract those right people or those dreamy clients to you. So my question to you would be, do you have a lead gen, one? And is it working for you? Is it attracting your ideal person to you or not? And, when I say that, it's not being judgmental, because a lot of times we create content, free content, for example, that we're giving away. We're bringing those people onto our list, and we're delivering the freebie, but we don't have a way to nurture that person in some cases, not all cases. But you're not letting them up, essentially going forward. So why is this a problem? It's a problem because if you don't have a lead gen and you're focusing a lot of your attention on social media, you're building your business on rented land. So you need a lead gen that you can take advantage of the social communities that you're building in such a way that you are moving them to a place that you own, AKA your email list, okay? So my point is that a lot of business owners don't have a lead gen that either works or that they're consistently sharing that will move their person from social media to their email list. And if that's you, then that's a problem that you need to solve, because it's one of the best ways to get your ideal person to make a micro commitment and start working or have the potential to start loving them up, essentially. So giving and or selling your ideal person something valuable and then having a system to what I call love them up, nurture them, it's the lifeblood of your business. It is the best way to attract people to you and ultimately to filter through those people to getting the top or the cream off the top, if you will, AKA the dreamy clients that you prefer to work with. these are, like I say, core foundational things. They're things that we teach and are providing the frameworks and everything inside of our Creator Authority program, which we're launching today. We're so excited about this. We just did a review of the app a little bit ago. So it's going to be incredible, because a lot of business owners, like I say, I feel like these are components that are going to drive business for them. And in some cases, they don't always have them. So if you have said, you're right, Kim, I don't have an authority page. My messaging is not super clear. I really don't have a content strategy that's moving people or attracting the right people to me. And my lead gen working, is it? I'm not sure. And I'm certainly not loving these people up. I haven't sent an email in, 6 months. Got a problem. So, instead of working so hard, work smarter. I think that's the key to, and that's what I'm really trying to say today is, these are foundational things that once you set up, they work for you, and they can work for you in a lot of cases on autopilot versus you having to hustle so hard in social to get people to say yes to being your client, essentially. So if you feel like you're right, you're saying to yourself, yes, Kim, you're right. I don't have some of these things. I need a better process for that. Happy to have the conversation with you around how we could potentially help you. You can apply for the Authority Creator Program. We've got a link in the comments area as well. But the end goal really is, one, I wanted to give you some value around getting Dreamy clients. I see a lot of people, like I say, out there hustling in social media, trying to attract people to them and ultimately convert them to clients. But a lot of times the process is broke or doesn't work as well for them, because lots of times people go and check them out on their website and they're like, well, I don't know. I don't see how this person really has the solution that I'm looking for, because the clear messaging is not there on their authority page, right? Or maybe they opt into something that you have and it just didn't resonate, just didn't really solve a problem for them. So these are core things that even that basically break down your effectiveness on social media. Okay. So just saying, and I've done it. This is my journey. This whole thing that I just shared with you, I had to circle back and figure out. So if that's you, do not feel lonely. A lot of people have these issues. And if that's you, like I say, there are solutions to it. You just, you have the age old thing is you have to understand you have a problem before you can fix it. That's why I'm here to educate, hopefully, and point you in the right directions. All right. So let me share the winners today, and then I'll circle back to questions if there are any that didn't get answered. Congrats to Valerie and Caleb for winning the How to Confidently Charge for Your Service and Earn More in the Process. If you'll go over to kimgross.com/winner and share your details with us, we'll get you a login set up and you will be in business. Yay. I'm so glad, Valerie. I'm so glad you won. Excellent. All right. I am just looking to see if we have any questions that didn't get answered. I think Rhonda has done a really good job of answering questions as we went. She usually does. So, all right. I think we're good. So, I just want to, Linda's saying congrats to the winners. Yes, congrats to those that won. I'm so excited. Okay, I think that's it. If y'all need anything in the meantime, next week we're going to our special guest. Let me see who our special guest is next week. If I sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't. Oh, yes, our special guest. Is it next week? Is next week I got to look at this. Hang on. I think next week's the 26th. I'm just making sure. Yes, next week is the 26th. We have my sweet friend, Diane Black, who has a doodle business. Talk about an unusual guest for next week. Yes, you guys definitely want to be here because we're going to talk to a business owner who has a doodle business. What? Like doodling? Yeah, doodling. Like seriously, like, can you make money doing that? Yes, she has an amazing business, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to share her with you guys. And maybe you'll learn how to doodle, because she sells her doodle art as well, right? I'm super excited to have her next week. I think you guys will, it's totally different than a lot of our guests in the past. So we're excited to have her. All right, guys and gals, we will see you next Monday, same time, same place, with our special guest, Diane Black. Hopefully you've gotten some value today, and you're like, I can fix my website and have some clear messaging, or let me check out my lead gen, or what was the other thing? Yeah, I need to do that too. Hopefully it's been helpful, and now you have a path. All right. You guys take care of yourselves. Stay safe. God bless. See you next week.